Chapter 1. A New Beginning.
Welcome to this video, where I will take you through my daily routine as an international student living in the United States. My name is Sakura, and a year ago, I left everything familiar behind to start a new chapter of my life in America. It wasn't an easy decision. The thought of leaving my family, friends, and all the places I loved in Japan felt overwhelming. But deep down, I knew this was the opportunity I had been waiting for. For years, I dreamed of becoming fluent in English. I would watch movies, listen to songs, and practice phrases in my notebook, imagining a future where I could confidently express myself in another language. So when the chance to study abroad appeared, I knew I couldn't say no. My parents, while supportive, couldn't hide their worry. As my mother hugged me tightly at Narita Airport, she whispered, "Take care of yourself. Remember to eat well and get enough sleep." Her voice was calm, but I could see the sadness in her eyes. My father, standing a few steps back, gave me a nod and a small smile, his way of saying, "You can do this?" That moment marked the beginning of my journey, a mix of excitement, nervousness, and endless possibilities. As I boarded the plane, I clutched my favorite book, my notebook for writing goals, and my promise to make the most of this experience. Little did I know that this adventure would not only reshape my daily routines, but also redefine who I am as a person. Chapter 2. Mornings in a New Land. Waking up in a new country was not as easy as I had imagined. For the first few weeks, jet lag became my constant companion. I would wake up at odd hours, staring at my unfamiliar ceiling in the darkness. The room felt silent and foreign, so unlike my bedroom in Tokyo, where the distant hum of the city lulled me to sleep. But as days passed, I slowly established a routine that grounded me. My mornings now begin at 6:30 a.m., a habit I've grown to cherish. I lie in bed for a few minutes, stretching my arms and legs, a small ritual I brought from home. In those quiet moments, I feel connected to myself and find peace before the rush of the day begins. The sunlight filtering through my window feels gentler here than in Japan, almost like it's encouraging me to start my day with calmness. Once out of bed, I go through my simple morning tasks, brushing my teeth, washing my face, and tidying my small desk. These small acts feel like pressing a reset button for the day. Breakfast is another comfort. Back in Japan, mornings meant miso soup, rice, and pickles, always enjoyed with my family. Here, I have adapted to toast and oatmeal, but one thing remains the same: my green tea. I never miss it. Each sip reminds me of home and the warmth of my mother's kitchen. After breakfast, I sit at my desk for about 15 minutes to plan my day. University life in the U.S. can be hectic, so keeping a to-do list helps me stay calm and organized. I jot down my classes, upcoming assignments, and errands. This quiet planning time makes me feel prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead. Before leaving, I usually check messages from my family in Japan. Their words always bring me comfort, no matter how far apart we are. By 7:30 a.m., I'm out the door and walking to campus. The streets are still quiet, with only a few people heading to work or class. I love the cool morning air and the sound of birds in the trees. It's a peaceful way to start my day, a stark contrast to the busy rush hours I knew back home. Chapter 3. Afternoons of Learning and Growth. The afternoons are when my real work begins. As an international student, improving my English is my top priority. At the university, I immerse myself in speaking, writing, and grammar classes. I love my classes, but they aren't always easy. Sometimes I struggle to keep up with fast conversations or feel unsure of the right words to say. Early on, I felt embarrassed by my mistakes, but I quickly realized that every struggle is part of learning. Growth takes time, and patience is key. To stay energized, I take small breaks between classes. A quick walk around campus or a healthy snack like a banana or almonds helps recharge my focus. For lunch, I usually enjoy a bento box I prepare the night before. It's a little piece of Japan that I carry with me each day. Rice, grilled chicken, and fresh vegetables neatly arranged. It feels like a hug from home, reminding me of the care my mother would put into my meals back in Tokyo. The afternoon slump is real, though. After lunch, when my energy dips, I've learned a few tricks to stay awake and focused. Drinking plenty of water and sitting in the sunshine for a few minutes makes a big difference. On days when the weather is especially nice, I sit on the grass outside the library, enjoying the warmth of the sun as I review my notes. These small, quiet moments remind me to slow down and appreciate where I am. Once classes are done, I move on to homework. I like to tackle the most challenging assignments first while my mind is still fresh. I usually spend 2 to 3 hours in the campus library. It's a peaceful space, surrounded by other focused students. I like to think that we're all working toward our dreams in our own way. Seeing their determination motivates me to keep going, no matter how tired I might feel. Chapter 4, Evenings of Peace and Reflection. Evenings are my favorite part of the day. After the busyness of classes and studying, I make time to unwind and reflect. Dinner is simple but comforting, often a quick bowl of ramen with vegetables or a stir-fry with rice. I've grown to appreciate simplicity in my meals. Sometimes I call my family during dinner, sharing small stories from my day. Hearing their voices makes me feel close to them, even when we're thousands of kilometers apart. After dinner, I step outside for a short walk around my quiet neighborhood. The air feels cooler at night, and the streets are lit with warm yellow lights. As I walk, I let my thoughts drift. I reflect on what I learned during the day, what I'm proud of, and what I hope to improve tomorrow. It's a peaceful way to close the day and clear my mind. Once I'm back, I try to avoid screens as much as possible. Instead, I read a book or listen to soft music. Sometimes I write in my journal. Journaling has become an important habit for me. I write about my progress, things I'm grateful for, and moments that made me smile. It's my way of acknowledging the little victories of each day because even small steps forward matter. At 10:30 p.m., I turn off the lights and go to bed. Keeping a consistent sleep schedule has been one of the biggest changes in my routine. Back in Japan, my days were often so busy that I didn't prioritize rest. But now I've learned how essential sleep is for my well-being, focus, and energy. Chapter 5, Overcoming Challenges. Of course, my life here hasn't always been smooth. Adjusting to a new country came with its challenges. In the beginning, I felt lonely. I missed my family, my friends, and the familiar comforts of home, like the smell of my mother's cooking or the sound of cicadas on summer nights. The language barrier was another hurdle. There were times when I felt frustrated because I couldn't express myself perfectly or understand everything people said. But with time, I learned to overcome these struggles. When I felt lonely, I joined student groups and attended events at the university. Slowly, I made friends who understood what it was like to be far from home. We shared stories, laughter, and meals, creating a sense of community in this unfamiliar place. One of my proudest moments was giving a presentation in my speaking class. I was so nervous, but I practiced over and over until I felt confident. When I finished, my classmates clapped and my professor smiled. That small moment meant so much to me. It was proof that I was improving and growing stronger with each challenge I faced. Chapter 6: Growing into Myself. A year has passed since I arrived in the U.S., and I can confidently say I've grown in ways I never imagined. My English has improved, but more importantly, I've become more independent and resilient. I've learned to adapt, to find joy in small routines, and to embrace challenges as opportunities. I think about my family often, especially during my quiet walks in the evening. I know they're proud of me, and that keeps me going. I've started writing letters to my parents, sharing stories about my days here. You sound happier and more confident, my mother wrote in her last reply. Reading her words filled me with warmth. This journey is far from over, but I've learned that life is made up of small, meaningful moments. Stretching in bed, sipping green tea, preparing my bento box. These are not just routines. They are reminders of where I come from and who I'm becoming. As I close my notebook at the end of another day, I feel grateful. My story is still being written, but each chapter is filled with purpose, growth, and hope. Now that I've shared my daily routine, I'd love to hear from you. What does your day look like? Do you have any habits or routines that help you stay productive, balanced, or connected to home? Share your daily routine in the comments or with a friend, and let's learn from each other's experiences. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.